In this video, I'm going to show you a basic training session and how I run through teaching dogs commands using leash pressure. So why might you want to use leash pressure to teach your dog commands? Well, for a lot of dogs, treats can be great, and they do have their place, especially if you're training puppies or dogs that are super unmotivated. Or sometimes you have dogs that just won't get into a certain position, and treats are super helpful for some dogs to do that. But in general, for a lot of dogs, they tend to get a lot more excited when treats come out. And then the focus becomes like, how can I best get a treat? And that state of mind is great if you're doing work like agility work or trick training or something that's supposed to be like upbeat and really fun. And when I train dogs obedience commands like sit, down, place, go in your kennel, recall, of course I want the dog to be having a good time, but a lot of that excitement can be counterintuitive to the mindsets I'm trying to create with a lot of these commands. So down, place, go in your kennel. These are commands that are, I want the dog to go in there and relax and be calm. And if I have a lot of treats involved, then it becomes more excitement. When can I get my next treat? I only work for treats, that kind of thing. And it's definitely not a bad thing to start with treats in the beginning, especially if you have a puppy, that's what you're going to be doing, or in some other cases. But it is good eventually to phase out the treats, or you can either start with leash pressure right from the beginning and then even add treats later in. So what I like to do, once my dogs know stuff, they know the commands, then I can add treats in later just for like extra reinforcement and because it's just more fun. But in the beginning, especially when I'm trying to teach very calm mindsets, treats can be a little bit counterintuitive. All right, so I have Miss Opal here. She is in a prong collar and a backup martingale. Not that we need to back up inside, but it's always a good practice to back up your prong collar. She's in a size 3.0 prong collar, and if you have questions about sizing or what backing up your prong collar is, you can go to my Getting Started with a Prong Collar video. But so for right now, I'm going to walk through some of our commands. And Opal's only had like 1.5 training sessions. She's already kind of starting to get it. She's a good girl. And you'd be surprised how quickly a lot of dogs just pick up on this stuff. So I will get started first with teaching sit. So I'm going to guide her towards me. And with sit, I say sit, tiny leash pressure up, and as soon as she sits, I release the pressure on the leash. Break. I use break as a release word. She wants to go to that bed, but I don't want her to go there right now. Good, and sit. So she doesn't sit right away, so I'm going to say sit again. Sit. Leash pressure up. Butt goes down. The instant her butt goes down, I release the pressure. So she's learning pressure on, pressure off. Whenever she feels pressure, I'm asking her something of her. So this is one reason that I don't love flexi leashes just for general leash walking, like around the neighborhood and for training, because flexi leashes apply constant tension to the leash. So she's always feeling tension on a flexi leash. But with a regular leash, you have the ability to have zero tension, which is a great state. It means you're doing what you should, or a little bit of tension, which means pay attention, something's happening. All right. And I don't say sit and stay or down and stay, or place and stay, kennel and stay. The implication is that the dog will do what I'm asking and until I give the break command or give her a different command. No, sit. Good. You can teach a stay, but the way I teach it, it's just implied. All right. Come here, Granny. Sit. Good. So next I'll show you about how I teach the place command. So I do like to get the dogs sitting first because just like the kennel with place, you don't want them rushing on or rushing off. Everything has boundaries. It's good to wait for permission. So I'll ask her to sit first. Then I say, place. I guide her to the bed. Oops, place. Her two front paws are off. Good. Nice. So when her two paws are off, place. I'm going to use my body like a magnet. Guide her back. Good. Place. Good. There you go. Now, if she gets a little bit too crazy, I will give her a pop correction, because there is definitely a lot of time for fun and play, but right now isn't one of them. And the place bed, one of the reasons that we teach place is, the main reason we teach place is to get your dogs in the habit of coming inside, going to a spot, and lying down and relaxing. So it can be great if you have guests over and you want your dog to be part of your space but not jumping all over your guests. It can be great if you're watching TV or you're cooking or you're doing some other kind of activity where you don't want your dog just like jumping all around. So she's, no. I don't want her, she's in place, but she's distracted. So I'm going to give her, no, a little correction. Good girl. Because place is Zen time. Doggy meditation. You lay here, forget about the world, and just chill out. Good. So you'll notice my correction for that distraction was a lot higher. I use more pressure than just when I'm teaching the other commands. That's because she doesn't know the other commands yet. So I'm guiding her with the leash very gently. Whereas when she's a little bit distracted, she needs a little bit more of like a, hey, tap on the shoulder kind of deal. And you can tell it's not like it hurts her. It's just like, oh, snaps her out of it. And that's a great reason for using the prong collar. So prong collars have a little bit more action in them that dogs tend to respond better to than other tools. And even if you have something like a slip leash is just like they tighten and they keep going. And a lot of dogs will even like resist against that, like choking almost. So you definitely can use a slip lead, but prong collars are an even better tool in my opinion. Same thing with martingales. It's something that you can use, but when you're just doing this kind of initial training work, I do really like to use prong collars. And then when you're talking about things like harnesses, I would personally not use harnesses for teaching commands with leash pressure because you really can't communicate with your dog well through a harness. Harnesses were made for pulling, and they definitely have great purposes if you want to bike with your dog on a harness perhaps, or in certain scenarios, harnesses are definitely great. But for teaching commands, it's really hard whether you have your dog clipped to the front or the back on a harness. You're just like pulling your dog around. It's really difficult to communicate with them just on a harness. Amazing. And she's laying here. And you'll notice laying down is not something that I taught her. I didn't say go to place and lie down. One, I don't want to do that yet because she's still learning the boundaries of place. So if I just every time tell her place and lie down, she's more learning the down command and not what place is. So in the beginning, I'll just be telling her place. And like you can see, she gets it. And then she just eventually lays down because what else is she going to do here? And that's the whole point. The whole point is that we want her to come down and relax. If she were further along the training process, I would ask for a down. It just implied place means come here and lie down. But for now, she can just go on place, all four paws. She can lie down, sit, do whatever she wants to. Yep. And this focus that she's giving me is really awesome because it's only, like I say, day 1.5 of training. And she, previously when she came in here, she didn't know who I was. She didn't want to give me the time of day. She's much more interested in what's going on in the environment and with my other dog, everything that's going on. But you can see I'm not asking her for eye contact, and she is giving me eye contact. She's relaxed, but she's like, all right, what's going on next? That's awesome. So to get her off, I'll use a break command. The words really don't matter. You could say free, you could say okay. I really don't like to say okay because I use okay all the time in my regular conversation. So I would just be like freeing dogs left and right if okay were my release word. So I use the word break, but you can use whatever word you want. I'll walk over here. Break. I'm going to encourage her to come towards me. Good girl. Sit. Little bit of leash pressure up. Good. The instant she starts to go down, pressure's off. So you start to get the idea, pressure on when I want to communicate with you, pressure off when you're good and you've done exactly what I've asked. 10. This is how I start recall training as well, just introducing the word come. Now look, she wants to run onto this place bed, which is great. I'm glad she likes it, but that's another boundary that I need to set. Just like coming in and out of the kennel is you can't rush onto the place bed. Why am I being so kind of specific about that? Like, it's like, well, she loves the bed. Why not let her go on it? Because I'm also teaching her to pay attention to me and to look to me for permission and for making decisions. So that focus that she was giving me earlier was a result of that. So she's getting used to looking to me for permission to things. But some of this is anticipation. She's super new to it. So it's not like she's blowing me off. She's just thinks she's going on to the next thing, which she is, but I'm going to slow her down just a little bit. So I'll say, sit. Leash pressure. Good. Ooh, sit. Good. Released a little bit too early. She was almost there. Down. Good. So that was a little bit of an accident, but sometimes things in dog training are happy accidents. So she gave me a down. Oops. She gave me a down there. I'm going to just mark it with that word. She doesn't know what it means yet, but she will soon. Okay. Sit. Pressure on. Good. Place. Good. I give her the option, see what she wants to do. If she's going to step off, I'm going to say no, place, and bring her back. No, place. Good. No, place. Place. Good. Yay. Break. All right, now we'll talk a little bit about the down command. So the down command is a really tricky one. If you have a nervous dog, they might not give you a down the first day, maybe not the second day. Down is one that can take, like I say, it's a little bit tricky to teach. And when you're doing it down with leash pressure, it puts you kind of in an extra vulnerable position. And a lot of dogs are resistant to lying down with leash pressure at first. So you might have to get creative in how you approach it. This is one where sometimes I do use treats right from the start for down if it helps lure them into position. There's a number of different things, but just very basically, if you were to teach it with leash pressure, I'm going to essentially hold the leash down and wait until she gives me a down and release the pressure. Just like all these commands, when you're dealing with leash pressure, you are putting extra pressure on the dog. So if you have a dog that is, all dogs can bite, right? Every single dog, even your friendliest, fluffiest little dog, they all can bite. And you're putting extra pressure on them. So if you have a dog that's prone to biting, or you don't know the dog, or literally any dog can bite. If you have any concerns at all, then there needs to be safety precautions in place. That could mean a muzzle. That can mean a number of different things. So right now, I feel safe with this dog, so I'm not using extra safety precautions, but do be mindful and just think about, in general, all dogs can bite. So I am going to the leash down here. I'm actually going to turn the prong collar so it's facing down. Normally I keep the prong collar on the left side because I do tend to walk dogs on the left, but I'm going to angle it so that that leash end is down. So let's just see how she responds here. So there's slight pressure downward. Good. No. She's biting the leash, so I gave her a small correction. No. Good. Oops, so we'll try that again. That was great. She did lie down. Let's see. Sit. Good. Please. Good. Nope. Please. Good. Down. Good. No. Down. Down. Good. I mark it with a good. I release the pressure. That was great. Break. Sit. Good. Place. Good. Good girl. Well, this training is hard work. I'll drop the leash here. She's just chilling. And even on her super early on in her training, her first or second day, I will have her in 30 or 60 or 90-minute place sessions. So we'll do a number of commands and then we'll do place for a while. Really to start patterning, like I say, acting calmly and getting in the habit of place means go there and relax. Great. Break. Good. We'll try it again. Down. Good. Awesome. So a little bit less intense and less time than last time. Do a similar thing. Drop the leash here, walk around. Good. Good is my marker word. Again, you can use any kind of marker word. You can use a clicker. You can use, no, down. Good. You can use the word yes. You can use any word that you want. I just happen to like good. But essentially, that word, whatever you use, that positive word, marks the moment that she's done what you've asked of her. So it coincides with the release of that tension, but eventually you're not always going to have a leash on your dog. So verbally, it's great to have a marker like that. And personally, I don't love using a clicker because then I have like 20 things in my hand, and it's just not something that no, down. Good. It's just not something that I prefer, especially because it's like an unnatural sound. You don't always have a clicker on you, so you always have your voice on you. So that's why I like to use the word good. All right. Break. Come. Sit. Whoop. Oh. Come. Break. Now she's like, doesn't want to work. Come. Come. Good girl. Sit. Leash pressure up. Good. Release as soon as her butt hits the ground. Break. Come. Sit. Now she really wants to rush onto the bed. Good. Place. Good. Yeah, I know. Work is hard. Work is hard. It is. All right, while she's here and kind of taking a minute, I'll also talk about something that I've been thinking about recently, which is you'll see a lot of dogs, especially from shelters or different places, and it's like, oh, they know sit, they know down, which is great. A lot of dogs don't even know those things, so that is awesome. The only thing is that it's a little bit misleading. So just because a dog knows sit or a dog knows down, it's like those things are great, but they're also basically just tricks if they're not paired with a stay and the dog doesn't do them for long periods and the dog isn't calm while they're doing them. Because if you're not creating this calm state of mind, then it can be hard if you're trying to get your dog to relax in different situations, whether that's at home or then you up the ante and now you're working outside. If all of your tricks have been just this flashy, like sit down, that can be great and it has its place. But for just general pet obedience training, it's best. No, she's trying to bite the leash here. Of course you are, because you're very cute. No. Just a little correction for biting the leash. No. So just like the word good or yes, I also use the word no to mark when she's done something that I don't want her to do. So that's how I distinguish of all the things she's doing here. They're great. The only thing is I didn't like that she was biting the leash. So I mark that with no, and then I give the correction. And that no marker, just like that yes marker, gives me time then to deliver the reward or the correction. So I can say no, and then I don't have to immediately deliver the correction. Once the word happens, then the consequence follows, and she'll learn that pattern. So that no marks something that I don't like that her to do, and the correction is the consequence that happens after that. And you can see, even though we haven't been doing anything crazy, not a lot of exercise or anything, she's starting to fall asleep, which is great. So I actually want to just end this here and have her do a little bit of place duration, which means just a longer time on place so that she'll fall asleep and relax. And then I'll pick it back up after. But I think this is great. So now you've seen sit, down, place, and a little bit of starting recall with leash pressure. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will keep you posted with her training as it progresses. So like I say, this is only day 1.5, and she's already got the hang of some of the commands. So there she goes. All right, take care.